What is up, guys? Chris Barr of the First Productions here. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about something that you guys need to know, okay? There has been a little bit of a medical issue going on with me for the past 2 weeks, and I want to update you guys about it and tell you what's going on, alright? So, before anybody gets freaked out and, gets all panicky and all that stuff, don't worry, I'm going to be fine. Okay, I'm fine as is right now, but I do want to explain what has happened. Okay, so I'm gonna start the story like this. All right. So recently, just joined my school's swim team. Right, with swim practice. Right, that's what I did. Okay. And I said last year on Instagram I was going to do the swim team at my school. Well, um, we show up to swim practice, right? First day of swim practice, right? At CCBC Dundalk here in Baltimore, Maryland. That's one of the pools that we go to. But that's beside the point. So I get done swimming, and it is a lot harder than I think, and I'm pushing myself really, really hard to uh, be able to compete, right? So this is what's happened, okay? So due to me pushing hard, right? That night I go to use the bathroom, right? Take a number one, and something about my urine did not seem normal, okay? It looked a little bit reddish, but I didn't take any notice of it, okay? Then we move on to Wednesday, no, Thursday, uh, November 7th November 7th. We go back to CCB Dundalk again for another swim practice. And I think the second time I was doing better, but still pushing myself too hard. And then I get the urge to have to go to the bathroom. Uh, yeah, I have to go use the bathroom in the middle of swim practice. So I rush off to the locker room, go use the bathroom. I stand in front of the urinal with, out. You know what I mean. Sticking out, right? And I start urinating, and I could not believe my eyes what I saw. It was the scariest thing I have ever seen in my entire life. Okay, hands down. What goes in that urinal is just utterly terrifying. Yes, if you guessed blood in the urine, you are correct. I was urinating blood. And I just stand there for a second. I just could not comprehend what I was seeing. So I go on my phone and look it up. Is this common when swimming? And yes, it is. Especially when you do strenuous exercise like swimming, you can have blood in your urine. But still, I was not convinced. So later on, I told my parents, "Hey, I got blood in my urine." So we go to the doctor at think we go to Express Care. That's what the urgent care was called. Express Care. Get seen by a doctor. She said, "Oh, you'll be fine in a couple days. You just strained yourself." So I said, "Okay." So we go home and relax, and then later on that night, I go use the bathroom again. Still urinating blood, but I thought like in the next couple hours it would subside, so I didn't say anything about it. Then the next morning, I wake up to go to the bathroom. This is on November 8th now. Um, and yep, still urine in the blood. My mom saw it and she wanted to get a specimen of it. After seeing this, my mom had no hesitation. She took me straight up to St. Agnes Hospital to the emergency room. So, yes, this incident has landed me in the emergency room. Okay. And I was in the emergency room all day. Okay. The first thing they did was they took my blood pressure. My blood pressure was through the roof. Okay. Because I'm so nervous. I don't even know what's happening. Okay. I check my blood pressure at home and it's normal half the time. So I'm not really worried about that. But what really is scary about this situation, right, is why there's blood in the urine. What is causing it? So they sent me back to the pediatric um, emergency room, or ER for short. And the first thing they did was blood work or lab work, whatever you want to call it. They took 11 and they did 2 rounds of this. In total, they had taken 22 tubes of blood from me. That is a lot, guys. Okay, I just want to put in perspective. That is a lot of blood. I think that's at least a pint of blood gone. Okay, so let's just get that right. Okay, the second thing now, all right, that I think you guys should understand about this entire situation, right? Is yeah, they did all this testing. That's the thing, all right? And I'm still shooken up from this, to be honest with you. I can't really speak clearly, but what happened was, right, they took 11 vials of blood first, right? Then they go through my medical history. I have a very clean medical history. I don't have any diseases. I don't have any severe medical complications in my history. All right. So we go through that, right? Then they put an IV on me, right? Or in me, I should say. They take an IV and they stick it right in my arm, right? But here's the weird thing about it, though. Here is the weird thing about that IV that they put in me. They did not hook me up to one of those IV bags or an IV machine. I don't know what the hell they use. Okay, all right. I don't know. They did not hook me up to an IV bag. All right, that's the thing. And I'm like, why did you stick an IV in me if you're not gonna hook me up to a IV machine? What they used it for was they used it to frickin' they used it to frickin' wash the blood out from the lab work that they did. That's all they used that for. And that was in my arm the whole time I was there, pretty much. And it was painful, very painful. Uh, and then they set me on a timer um, for my blood work. I mean, not my blood work, my blood pressure to check it every 20 minutes. And yes, it did go down a little bit, but not enough because I was terrified to be there. So the next test they did was they did a ultrasound, and the ultrasound looked great. All right, there was my kidneys looked good. The ultrasound was on my kidneys. Kidneys worked great. All right, and so yeah, kidneys look great. They functioned normally. They functioned properly, which is a very good sign. Okay. Then they do a urine sample or a urine specimen. That was not normal. That had blood in it. It was not see through blood. It was It's okay. So the first thing you guys need to understand, right? When you have blood in your urine, it's called hematuria. All right. That's the first thing you guys need to understand. All right. That's what the doctors call blood in urine. It's called hematuria. Okay, and there's 2 types of hematuria from what I've learned through this whole situation. There's microscopic hematuria and you got gross hematuria. Gross hematuria is when you can see the blood in the urine. That's when you can see it with the naked eye. That's what I was having on Thursday really bad. Okay. And that's what happened in the morning of Friday, November 8th. All right. And that's the day I was booked into the hospital, emergency room. So, yes, that's gross hematuria, is when you can see with the naked eye. Microscopic hematuria is when the urine looks normal, but when they test it under a microscope, it's not normal. It's got blood in it. It's got all kinds of trace of blood. And that's what happened with your urine sample. It was microscopic hematuria. Even though you couldn't see it, there was still blood in that urine. And they said, nope, you got blood in your urine. This is not normal. So, yeah. And I really start to freak out at this point. So, even though the ultrasound was good, the blood test, all my labs were normal. Okay. All my labs were normal. Um, so yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, my blood sugar was a little high because I did not fast. I ate something before I did, and I didn't know I was getting all this done. So how was I supposed to know? I mean, yeah, but I read up on it for fasting. Okay, my blood sugar was 108. All right, that's what mine says. A normal blood sugar when you're fasting is supposed to be below 100. Mine was 108. When you don't fast, your blood sugar is supposed to be under 140, and mine was way under 140. So, I'm not too concerned about my blood sugar. Okay. Other than that, everything else was great. Um, so right now I'm going to show you a picture of what the IV. I got a picture of my arm with the IV in, and things like that. So there you go. And in the background, you can kind of see there's a little bit of the sample of the urine from, yeah, that, I'm going to zoom it in a little bit. As you can see, that is not normal urine. That is blood. That is pure blood right there. So, yeah. But quit grossing you guys, I'm going to take this down. But, yeah. So, get back to the lab test. Everything looked great. So the next test they do is they wanted me to do a CT scan, which that came out good. Um, and then a chest X-ray, which that came out also great. Um, then they draw again another 11 vials of blood. Same thing, all look great except the sugar, the blood sugar. That is okay. So yeah. Uh, Anything else I'm in? Oh, here's the great part about this. Well, not really. They bring in a kidney doctor or a uropath. I don't know how to say it. But they bring in this kidney doctor, Dr. Pullman. Okay, and he explains that the kidneys are functioning, but the kidneys are leaking blood. All right. Well, here's the thing though. My kidneys look normal in the ultrasound, and you know, they might be leaking blood, but you know, I think this might be due to exercise. So he keeps on talking about kidney disease and stuff like that, how it could be a disease. At this point, I don't think I have a disease. I mean, we've done too much testing and everything's been normal, so I highly doubt I have kidney disease or any disease. Um, but yeah, so I see him, and then they bring in a urologist. And the urologist actually had very good news. She said, "Nope, everything looks stone cold normal. Your kidneys, everything looked great. And I think you're going to make a full recovery." That's what she said. And she said also, Okay. The computer screen went off. But anyway, um, she said the everything was normal. The screen. What am I trying to say? No, all the tests were normal with the kidneys. They worked fine. They function. And she even told me I was not actively bleeding, which made me feel better. But the kidney doctor thinks otherwise. Okay. So, yeah. And at this point, we're pretty much all done. I I spent almost an entire school day in the emergency room trying to figure this out, and they still didn't know what caused it. So, I again, I think it's vigorous and strenuous exercise that caused this issue. Uh, it's definitely what it is, okay? Because this didn't all happen until like until I start swim practice. So it's got to be exercise, okay? But I will say this, okay? This has definitely been one of the scariest things that has ever happened to me in my entire life. Okay? So, yeah, but you think it ends there. It doesn't end there. So, we go a week, right? I go see my primary care doctor, and she said, "Oh yeah, well, you push yourself too hard in swimming. Yeah, vigorous exercise, strenuous exercise. Oh yeah, that can cause blood in the urine." So she even told me what it was. She told me it was blood. There was blood in the urine because of strenuous exercise, pushing myself too hard. Okay, so that made me feel better. And we get a urine sample, and guess what? A couple days later, I get the urine sample done, get the results in, and guess what? That urine sample was normal, completely stone cold normal. Not a single trace of blood is in that in in that urine, which tells me I'm getting better. Okay, but here's the thing, though. What the kidney doctor does not understand, right, is that I don't think he understands that this is an exercise thing, right? Now, I know I'm not a doctor, but my primary care doctor said that it was exercise, and exercise can cause blood in the urine. And she said you just need to go easier. You need to ease into the exercise, not push yourself so hard, because that's what I was doing, pushing myself as hard as I could. Don't do that, guys. That is very, very dangerous. Okay, don't do that. So, what happened was, okay, she wants me to go see this kidney doctor again, and this is the same kidney doctor I saw at the emergency room. Okay, and he said, "Yeah, and he said everything that he said in the hospital again when I visited him, like it was 2 days ago." And he said, right, "Oh well, you got functioning kidneys. Your kidneys were great. They have no problem at all, but they could feel like they were not well because they were bleeding." Okay. They were not well because I was straining myself too hard, you know, and pushing myself too hard, and I just needed a rest. That's all this is, and I'm telling you, that's all this is, guys. But now I'm in this situation where I have to keep seeing this kidney doctor, right? At least for now, until something. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I go see him, and I think he's in denial that this is anything to do with exercise. Why? I don't know, but I've even read online, and it said it on the paperwork that they gave me from St. Agnes Hospital. Said that strenuous exercise is a very common cause of blood in the urine or hematuria. Okay, and again, at the with the appointment with the kidney doctor, He tested my blood again. Everything was normal with that. I have not leaked any blood at all. Okay, since then. But let's go back further, right? So when I get out of the hospital, right, we go eat something and it's normal, right? Then I go take a crap, right? And when I'm straining, and now this is later on in the evening time, I strain and yep, you guessed it. Here comes the blood coming out of my you know what again. So I start freaking out again and start freaking out the entire night. Then we go into Saturday, and this is the day that what we thought was the last Amtrak Capital Limited uh, for the eastbound side. It was not. So that chase was kind of, and it really wasn't that great of a chase anyway. We got screwed a couple times, but did not notice any bit of blood that day. Moving on to Sunday, we go back out and chasing trains. While we're chasing trains, I had to go into a rural farms, right? Because we stopped to get fuel and all. We were over in White Marsh, just outside of Baltimore, and I used the bathroom. And while we're out chasing trains, yep, you guessed it. Here comes the blood coming out right again. And I start freaking out, and I tell Edwin, right, which is one of my rail fan buddies, and I tell Edwin, "Hey, I'm urinating blood again." And they told me, "Do you want to keep going or do you want to stop and go home?" I said, I want to catch the last Capital Limited." So, and we did. Went to Point of Rocks for it. And we caught a Norfolk Southern train that day on the Northeast Corridor, so that was pretty nice. Um, so yeah, and ever since that day, I've been urinating normally, no blood whatsoever, and that was like 2 weeks ago. And then we go to the kidney doctor, as I explained, and yeah. And then the next day, after I visit the kidney doctor again, I tell them now, even though there's been enough tests. I forgot to mention this. This kitty doctor wanted even more tests, right? I will tell you this right now. These tests are absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. He wanted another urine sample, which that's not that ridiculous. But here's the really big one: a genetic blood test. That's what he wanted. That's what he ordered me. It was a genetic blood test. And I don't even know what that's going to tell him. Is it going? It might tell him. The only thing I can think of is going to tell him is if my family has a history of kidney disease, which we don't. Okay, we don't have a history of that at all. Okay, so I expect that test to be good. Uh, what else? Oh, here's a really crazy one. He also recommends me get a kidney biopsy. And basically, what that is they numb you up. I'm assuming they take you into the hospital, into a surgery room. They numb you up and they stick a needle in your back all the way to the kidney and like scrape the kidney to get like skin cells of the kidney so they can test it. I'm not doing that, okay? I am not doing that. In my opinion, I think he's got enough evidence to tell me that my kidneys are completely fine and completely good because they are. They're functioning. I'm urinating normally. Every test has been normal. I don't know what else this kidney doctor wants. Okay. But I can tell you, and I can tell you, there is no way in hell I am doing that kidney biopsy because I think it's unnecessary. I even think the genetic blood test is unnecessary. But again, there could be comments in the comment section saying that. But again, it's whatever. But yeah, that brings us up to date, and I gotta go back and see him in 2 months, and hopefully I'm gonna find a way to not see him because I don't want to see him anymore. Okay, there's been enough evidence in my mind that my kidneys are fine. Okay, and then even somebody tells me, "Oh, well, you're gonna end up on dialysis," and I'm like, "What is dialysis?" I never even heard that. I've never even heard that word in my life. And it's a wastewater like treatment for your kidneys. If your kidneys completely fail and you have no more working kidneys, the function of the kidneys replaced by a machine. Okay, I was like, oh god, I hope I don't have to go on that. No, I don't have to go on dialysis. I don't even think I have a kidney issue. Okay, I think he's doing this for precaution, or he's just trying to get a rise out of me, and he's doing it for the money. That's another thing I think he's doing this for. But again, it's I don't know for sure, but that's where we are at now. So, and again, until then, I don't know, but I definitely don't have kidney disease. There's definitely they get that off the list. If I had kidney disease, they would have found it already on all those tests that we've done. All right. So, I'm just saying I don't know about the kidney doctor. I keep telling my parents I don't want to see him because I think it's unnecessary now. I think we got a diagnosis now. I think it is strenuous exercise, like I said. And I just got done looking at something. A very rare condition that you can get, right? It begins with a R. I don't even. I think it's called Rabo. Is Rabo something? And it's a very, very dangerous condition if you exercise too hard and you're not used to the exercise and you just push yourself way too hard. It's very rare, but it's very dangerous and it can be deadly. So, after finding that out, yeah, I definitely think it is exercise at this point. I definitely think it is exercise at this point. Uh, So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. Uh, Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this situation because I don't feel comfortable with this situation. To be honest with you, but let me know down in the comments section below, and you know, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you guys have been through something like this before. You've actually had hematuria before, and what did your doctor do? But until then, this is all I got. So. This might be the only video of it. I might make another one, but we'll see. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. All right, guys, peace out. Hey, folks, it's future me. Did I also mention that when I was in the hospital, one of the blood pressure monitors? I don't know if it was a full blood pressure monitor. I think it was more like a bedside monitor. It was my own bedside monitor that they had in the room. It was making this horrible, horrible, horrible noise. Like horrible, horrible noise. It was like an alarm or something like that. I'll go ahead and play a clip of it, but I think it was some kind of alarm on the machine. I don't even know. But here's a clip of that. Yeah, I'll definitely pay $1 million frickin' dollars and never hear that alarm again. But anyways, guys, I guess I'm gonna leave it here. This has definitely been one of the scariest things that has ever happened in my life. And yeah, what a journey it has been. But yeah, until next time, since this is kind of like a health related video, make sure you guys stay healthy. You keep yourself well. You eat healthy. You do all the things that a healthy person would do. Make sure you do all them things. And I will see you guys down the tracks and trackside. Thank you. Peace out, guys.